Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this evening, our minutes from January 21st, we're just going to save them for next month. Debbie had an emergency in the family and she had to leave today. So we're just going to skip that, and next month we'll approve those minutes, okay? So we're going to move right on to public comment.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm Samantha DeRochers, Lake Pleasant Youth Recreation Director, which I want to thank you again for allowing me to hopefully get all these kids out and active this coming year. Tonight I want to talk about my tentative plans for the 2020 year. January and February are very busy with the ski lessons, so I leave that. In March I wanted to do a dance for some of the kids under like 5th grade, because they don't really have anything. I was going to do something in February, but instead it's a little busy with the winter break. So on March 15th I was thinking about doing a little leprechauns dance, which Gary has already said he's available to DJ for. April 8th, I want to do a fundraising dinner. I was going to do a spaghetti dinner, but I found out on April 2nd for the talent show, the school will be doing a spaghetti dinner, so I thought about doing something completely different and going maybe with a taco bar. And it's the Wednesday right before spring break, so I thought that would be a good time. In May, I was looking about doing a 6th grade and up dance with a Cinco de Mayo theme. Last year, we did a Valentine's Day dance for the older kids, and they said they had a lot of fun with it. June, I don't really have anything for June, maybe like more of a planning month and making sure everything is set for summer rec. July 4th is the speculator doings with everything for the 4th of July. I'm not sure if the Lions Club are still doing. When I talked to the chamber, they said they didn't think so, so I was looking into doing hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, soda, and water as another fundraising event. July and August are summer recreation. Summer rec will be from July 14th to August 20th this year. Once again, 3 days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday will be from approximately 9 to 12 for our craft event days, and Thursdays again will be approximately 7:30 to 4:30 for our trip days. September, sometimes if Katrina Kohi with different drummers available, will do the after-school dance lessons, but I'm not sure exactly what her schedule is, if she's still going to be working up to the school come this September. October, we're going to do the hockey games again. They were a big hit. A lot of kids liked them. They had fun. I'm going to be doing a Halloween party. And then November, we'll have one more hockey game. And in November, the Thanksgiving senior dinner. What my idea is to get as many children volunteers as possible to come help cook a Thanksgiving dinner. And I want to get a list of like some of the older senior citizens that can't get out, people that are, I don't want to say shut in because I hate that word, but like aren't able to, don't have family, to be able to deliver a dinner to them. They can pick from the list that we get and be able to do that. I think it would be a good way to get the kids going with volunteering and working with them, and then it's really a good thing to get the older people stimulated with for the kids. And then just, go ahead.
If you remind me, I'll send you, I'll email you a contact over in Warren County.
Okay.
Thanksgiving
Oh,
meals
for
are
the aging?
delivered over here,
Oh, are they?
but
Okay.
they come from Warren County Office
Okay.
for the Aging.
Okay.
So there's no point in them coming if you're gonna do it,
Yeah, or
Yeah,
if
so you
there's
might
we
want-
could
Or they could
work
work
together
together.
too.
or work together,
I
yeah,
think that would be a good thing.
yeah.
And then December starts ski lessons, and the vacation week is when we do the free skiing, free tubing, so the kids can get up there over vacation. Right now, I have two people interested in the aides position. One is Susan Martin, who's here with me tonight, and the other is Ashley Page. Right now, for the 2 fundraising dinners, I have to apply for a temporary food vendor through the Department of Health. So I have the paperwork for that. I'm going to be looking into that. I have also emailed it to Debbie because there's some paperwork in there that I said that I might need from the town, that I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what's going on with that. Yeah, it's a lot more than I expected, actually.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot of
Department of
hoops.
Health.
A lot of
It seems
Yeah.
like it just to
And-
be able
and
to sell food for a fundraiser
Where
really quick.
would the preparation be? That's that's gonna be their first and most important question.
The taco bar, if we do it, would be, is I want to have it at the Pleasant Fire Department.
Okay.
And then the stuff for the hamburgers and hot dogs would be down at the pavilion, like the Lions
Yeah,
stuff.
that's cooked
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yes,
You're gonna need adults to do that.
yes. I mean, adults, like I said, I have a few volunteers with people that I know and,
Mhm.
but the more the merrier, it makes it easier. With the Taco Bell, I'm gonna be doing like advanced tickets if everything goes well. I kind of was looking into maybe doing a 50-50 in a basket raffle, but we'll see how that goes to make sure everything goes. And the trip ideas I have for this summer are gonna be the Adirondack Museum up in Blue Mountain Lake, Animal Lounge, and then I wanna do another hike, probably into like Fawn Lake and then come back and go to Russian Beach like we did last year. The kids had a lot of fun there. The Utica Children's Museum, water safari again, and then Diagonal Roar Valley for the younger kids is our end of year trip, and then All Sable Chasm for the older kids. And then July 14th, the Historical Society is doing a walk into Rhinelanders, so I want to do that with them. And then the Zoom-mobile again with the library and normal craft activity stuff that we've done most years. So that's what I kind of have planned for this year, and hopefully all goes well with that.
Ambitious.
Hopefully, always trying.
I'm
She does
good.
a wonderful
I'm
job.
impressed.
It does, thank you.
Sandy Lavarnway can help you with those food applications.
Okay,
Right,
She does one every year for the Twigs.
sweet.
okay, so I'll can talk to her about it, cause, the chamber said either talk to Dan or like Jackie Greer, cause she does the stuff for Maple Fest, so.
Yeah, Jackie could help too, sure.
Okay,
Did
thank
you
you.
need these printed, Sammy? 'Cause
No, I have a copy of it, yep.
Oh, okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Yes.
doing a great job.
Indeed.
Mhm, yeah, and this is very good to get a
Yes.
copy of this.
Thank you, I forgot already.
Anybody else for public comment?
You know, census group too. Yeah,
I'm not used to standing up here. Bob Hoffman, I'm Democratic Committee Man for Town of Lake Pleasant, the Village of Speculator, and this is just a FYI thing. Back in October, at our Democratic meeting, the Lieutenant Governor was up in town and she stopped out to Wilt for a while. And then after that, she stopped at our meeting. And before she left, she said, if there's anything I can do for the area, don't be afraid to contact me. Well then, at the January meeting, it was mentioned here about the Route 8 and 30 condition and DOT saying it wasn't on anybody's agenda for any big work this summer, so at our meeting in January, the Democratic meeting, I talked to Lou Burke, who is our chairman, and he has a contact number for a liaison between him and Cassie's office. So I said, I think we ought to contact Kathy and take her up on her offer and see what happens. So he called his contact and I called and talked to DOT down in Albany. And then they finally got tired of talking to me, so they switched me over to the engineer in Utica, who is the next one down from the top, and she said she would, I told her, Route 8 and 30 is, we've got logging roads that are in better shape than 8 and 30, and both of those roads are designated by the state of New York as scenic byways. One runs east to west and the other north and south, and that 10-mile stretch of road gets the traffic always. And in the summertime, we have thousands of motorcycles that go through here. They do their fundraisers on the weekends and stuff like that. And all that one of them has to do is drop into one of them potholes like we had this summer, and you're gonna have a fatality. So she said she would contact Dean, because he's a regional engineer, and I told her I didn't have any luck talking to him because he wasn't far enough up the totem pole, so she said she was going to talk to their planning project engineer and see what they could do to get something on the books for this summer. So
That was
we'll
DOT.
keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we're in
So,
that
right.
region.
so, I will say that after it was brought up at that meeting, I had contacted the county contacted the state, and Tracy Eldridge, Bill Farber and myself did have a meeting with the folks from Utica, the folks from Albany, and the folks up north. We're working on it. But the squeaky wheel gets greased, so
That's what I said.
keep making your phone calls,
That's right.
any contacts you have, don't give up.
The wheels are turning now and they're squeaking, and
Yeah,
there's somebody down
Yeah.
in Albany, he's got a bucket full of grease that's colored green and.
got a very good feeling out of that meeting that, you know, if the governor just gives up a little more money for up in this area, which has happened in the past, that we have a good shot. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but we have a good shot.
Once I told them, they spent $16 million on that informational recreation center up the old frontier town or whatever it was. If the people don't have good roads to get there, what the heck good is the
Right.
$16 million project, you know?
Right.
And I also said, Route 8 is the main east and west
Yep.
for people coming from Utica headed over to Lake George in the summertime and whatnot, and then you see the green plates go through here every weekend.
Yep.
The Vermonters are headed over to the Turning Stone, and it's, you know, constant,
Absolutely.
so
Well, thank you, Shorty.
maybe we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Shorty.
Thank you for having me. I'm Rachel Nelson. My husband and I work with the LIFT program at Camp of the Woods, and now I'm also working for the US Census. It's 2020, the year ends with 0, so that means we're having a decennial census, and the census is looking for workers. So I think it's the people in the federal government have said Hamilton County needs 200 census workers, and that's usually the cue for laughter. So I don't know where we're going to get 200 people, but that's why I'm here, because at least there's, how many people are in this room? At least all of you know 200 people. So the more census takers that we have, the better the people in our community will be able to be counted, and hopefully the more money we can get to do things like fix roads. So, and the more people that actually work for the census from each community, the better it'll be taken, because everyone knows their neighbors and knows which dogs bite and which people, if you step on their property, will get out their shotgun. So,
Hamilton County?
not here. No, but so I'm just doing a quick infomercial for census jobs, which is in all of our best interests. It's great pay, $20 an hour and 58 cents a mile. I'm gonna put some posters and cards over here if anybody knows anyone who they think might want to work for the census. And I think the actual census taking will be happening in late spring, early summer, so be on the lookout for your form to come in the mail.
People can work part-time, right? It doesn't
Yep.
have to be full-time?
No, not full-time, so I don't work full-time. I think they'll take you for as many hours as you're able to give. So if you know somebody who's looking for their 3rd, 4th, 5th job, this is probably a good one to take for a short period
And
of
what
time.
did you say that pay was?
It's $20 an hour, and it's 58 cents a mile. So, and the 58 cents a mile isn't taxed because it's expenses. So, and if you're on SNAP or WIC or any kind of social services, the money that comes in from the census jobs doesn't take away from that. So, if you know people who don't want to work because they don't want their social services touched, the census is a special exemption for that.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Tell your
Rachel.
friends, grab a
Do
grab a
all of
flyer.
the, do all the positions start out at 20? I thought some started around
17 something?
Well, it's actually, over the past few months, there have been 2 raises.
Oh.
So I'm trying to find the posters around, I think I pulled down maybe 4 or 5 in the county building last week that said 17 and replaced them with the $20. So $20 is starting now.
Did you check here? Because I know the library's been advertising.
Yes, I was actually here 2 weeks ago. I know there's one at the laundromat. Someone told me at the laundromat it still says 17, so I have to get
So
over there and
they're
switch out.
incentivizing.
Right,
the-
right, and
these
I
hours.
wouldn't be surprised if over the next few months, there would be 2 more raises. So it really, they're really hurting for people, because the job market is so tight right now, less people are signing up for the census
That's a
because
good thing.
Job
more
market's
people
tight. and-
Right,
And this
it is a
this
good
is
thing.
difficult work, more difficult in rural areas, particularly
Right.
like Hamilton,
right,
than in many, city blocks.
mhm,
Very often, the folks who were uninitiated around here would stop in to ask Nancy or to ask Debbie or myself or whatever, my previous time in the town hall. Because boy, some of these roads, and you gotta
hunting
count them all.
camps. They were
Sure.
checking hunting
Uh,
camps and.
Right.
Many of the funds that come to us are capitated off of that.
mhm,
Roads aren't really one of them, unfortunately, because we have to go the route that Shorty was talking about the visitors who pass through us and the log trucks who go over,
oh, for
rather
sure.
than population, because they never fix anything if it was
Right,
down to just us.
right.
But, yeah, let's beat the bushes, get some folks.
Rachel, if people are interested in
I thought there
something.
were going to be an option to do the census
There
online,
is.
or,
Yes,
so
that was.
why do they need so many census
So,
takers?
primarily, we're hoping that as many people as are willing will do it online, and I think there'll be sort of computer stations set up at the libraries in all of the towns to encourage people who have limited computer use to do it in the libraries, but you can also mail it in, and you can also phone it in. So there are 3 ways to not have the census person knock on your door, but even after the library stations and everybody does them at home, the phoning in, the mailing in, there's still people who won't fill out their forms.
Right, ends
So
up being
it's-
the hardest to serve are the ones
Right.
you need the people,
It's
boots on the ground
It's the
for.
4th option catch-all that sort of, the more people who are able to be mobilized can go out and check them out.
And elected officials are not eligible to be a census worker.
I believe it's only federally elected officials, it's not, it's
No,
local too?
I filled out all the paperwork and did
Okay.
the phone interview and.
Ugh.
Oh, they shut you down.
Yep.
If
Wow,
somebody were
Don.
interested, would they be able to stay in their own town to take because I know people that are interested, but they don't want to be sent to
Right.
Long Lake,
Someone said that to me, oh, if I could stay in Racket Lake, if you can promise me I can only do it in Racket Lake, but I think there's,
They've never done that before.
it's,
I know, that's why
based
I'm
on
asking.
where the
Great
needs
question.
are, and sort of where the applications
Sure.
come in from.
Mhm.
So, that's way above my pay grade.
It would be in the best interest to do it with people who know.
Right.
Sure it is.
I think that,
Know their
they
neighbor.
would
Think
start
so.
everyone first in their local community, like, that's why I'm here at this board meeting first, and I'm trying to go out from there. But where out from there becomes, I wouldn't have any control over that, so. But you can always say no, if they say, oh, we want you to go canvass in Vermont, I can always say, no, thanks, I'd like to stay, so.
Okay, thank you. Randy Highway.
Really?
Usually on those forms, if they try to put you in a different town, because if I go to your house and I know you, and I start asking you some personal questions about income and stuff like that, you tell me to mind my own business and go out the door. So
Makes
usually
sense.
what they do is they
That
try to
makes
mix you.
That makes a lot of sense.
You might- you might say something to a stranger.
Right.
or you wouldn't be
Right.
different.
Right, okay, thank you. Randy Highway.
All right, the new Dodge is in. Took ownership of it Friday. Put the sander on today. We're in the process of putting the county radio system in it. Should be up in service tomorrow afternoon, I would say. So everything was as promised. Betsy and I, the funding for it because it was not in last year's funds. We did some fancy creative balancing to do it. I don't know how much you wanna get into that.
Well, we have the transfers for later
Yeah, they're all
on.
here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have it all
So
here,
you'll see it in the transfers, the fancy footwork.
yeah.
So, right now, time will tell if it's as good as the Chevy or better.
Right. You've never had this, right?
As far as I know, the Dodge has not been part of the town of Lake
Yeah, I
Pleasant
can't remember. Yeah.
ever. So, well, we'll find that out.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. We did some grooming last week. I think it showed with all the people we had this weekend, amazingly. We don't have much snow out there left, so it's basically the roads, the gravel roads only, that are getting groomed at this point. Hopefully we get some snow this weekend, late week. Buildings, we haven't had any issues, so that's a good thing again. We did get our voucher for the trail grant program, the 70% voucher, that's been mailed back in.
Too bad.
Yeah,
Turn around.
so now we'll be waiting for the check, I assume, for a while. But I have not finished the contracts with the clubs. We are amending them due to a lack of snow situation. Obviously, if we don't groom, we don't meet the reimbursement factor. That means we might end up sending some of that 70% back, if we ever get it. So we have to plan for that, plan for the worst here in our contracts, because if we go and give it all to the clubs, then we have to give it back to the state, and it creates a sticky situation.
And that happened quite a few years ago, didn't
A
it?
couple of years ago,
Yeah.
I remember that.
we ended up giving
Loss
all the
situation.
30% and
Yeah.
half of the 70% back. Which,
Here's for snow.
yeah, hopefully we get snow. Next subject is the job applications. We had applications go in all the area, or surrounding areas for the senior mechanic. The first bout of it, whether, it was probably my mistake, we put down the wrong classification for the CDL license that was required. It is not C, that is a taxi driver. It is B. We corrected it in all but the ones that had already run in the paper, which was Glens Falls. We advertised in the classifieds, not just legals. We have it in the Hamilton County, an actual ad. And in 2 weeks, I'll let you know more, but at this point in time, we've not received one phone call. Not inquiring about it, not anything,
Tough
so.
market.
We'll see what happens, but it's on Facebook, correct, Chris?
It's on my personal page, yeah.
Okay.
And which,
Is it on the town website by any
it's on the
chance?
town
It
website
is?
too.
Okay.
But I'm thinking maybe we should create a town Facebook page for this kind of thing.
I agree, for anything. Even,
Yeah, events, I mean, I know we've got the chamber to put up events, but it wouldn't hurt to have some duplication but especially if people could come to it to look and see what jobs are available.
So you mean instead of like on your personal site, there would be a town site that you would be putting everything on, so it's all.
That would I put that kind of stuff on,
We used to
yeah.
have that.
I used to do
Nancy
one
used to
when I
manage
worked
it. Yeah, I was
there, but
gonna
it
say.
was linked to my page.
Oh,
So I would be the only one that could access it, and I.
Well, as far as administering and so on.
Right, I
but-
let it.
But for things like,
I haven't done anything with it since I've been
well,
right,
retired.
Retired?
I just remember going to a teaching, conference where they tell local elected officials what to do or not to do. Anybody got a Facebook page? Okay, get rid of them. That was personal. He said, now, what you ought to do is go home and set up with whomever is your best IT person, a Facebook page for your town. That's more generic with more.
I do have some.
With
I just am so
with
cheap.
the idea that it's not so that the town weighs in on, you know, recipes and baby pictures and all the things that Facebook is littered with, but it is where the eyeballs are.
Right.
So if you just keep it on this sort of plane, events, the town's needs, et cetera,
It would come in handy
including
too
being
when
able
there's
to
an
take a
emergency.
schedule like the youth rec and, you know, and have that out there for them. Because quite frankly, you're gonna get more eyeballs on that than you will on a town webpage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can see if I can resurrect the one I
Okay. Would
had.
But there is one
Yeah.
up there, I searched it.
You found me?
There is
But-
really a Facebook page?
Did
Yeah.
you?
If it is, it's.
Tell you
Is
what,
it with
down
the-
to Lake
with-
Pleasant.
With the bear?
No, it's got a picture of a cat on it.
That's not mine.
It's definitely not mine.
A cat?
Down to Lake Pleasant. New
It
York.
would also
It's got a
be good
picture
for
of a cat.
communication during emergencies.
Absolutely.
Randy,
Yeah,
email
yeah,
me
first
the
place
ad.
folks go now.
Yes.
Yeah, it
yes.
is the first place.
I
to
let
media.
Debbie do
Young
that.
people
She
go
has
there.
electronic
We
version
do.
of it.
Yeah.
So is Minnesota?
No, actually, I take a picture of it.
Or just scan it, just send it, just make a photocopy and scan
Right,
it.
that's what I mean.
Don't take a picture, cause then if I print it, it comes out like
Yeah.
a photo.
Okay, she's the tech.
Well, I only have the ad that went in the paper.
Oh,
Debbie doesn't give all
You
that.
want me to send you
Look at
the ad that I made to put on the Facebook page?
Sure.
My Facebook
we'll
page?
give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if they stay forever available or not, but I can try.
Anything else, Randy?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, now
For
we're gonna get into old business, which is the right-of-way on 175 Golf Course Road. At the last meeting, we had decided that the mean high water mark was marked. The guys went down and where the rock on the lakefront, on the beach, had a hole drilled in it. The guys went down and actually put a peg stake in there, so it's clearly marked. Then it goes all the way up across Golf Course Road to the telephone pole where there's about this big a yellow metal thing that's nailed into the pole about 6 inches off the ground. So that's done. So at the last meeting, Chris volunteered to put together a letter, and the board has been working back and forth the last 2 weeks, so I'm gonna read the contents of the letter, and as long as the board is all in favor of this, we'll go ahead and get this in the mail this week. Dear right-of-way holder, I am writing to inform you of the most recent developments regarding the town of Lake Pleasant's property at 175 Golf Course Road, to which you own a deeded right-of-way. Sacandaga Lake is one of the 13 lakes within the Adirondack Park where mean high water levels have been established by recorded hydrological data, in this case, 1,729.3 feet above mean sea level. You may be aware of the Lake Pleasant Town Board on September 16, 2019 authorized hiring a surveyor to mark this spot. During the town board meeting on January 21st, 2020, the superintendent of highways, Randolph Lavarnway, reported the mean high water mark for that parcel had been marked where the surveyor indicated, both near the shore and near the road by himself, myself, and former supervisor Dan Wilt. Contrary to a December 16, 2019 report to the board, the mean high water mark does extend past the old swim raft. In fact, it is 6 inches above the road. The mean high water mark is identified on the rock by the shoreline with a hole drilled into it, and on the utility pole by the road with a yellow marker about 6 inches up from ground level. August 19, 2019, acting on advice from the attorney of the town board adopted a resolution to put forward by councilperson Nancy Seitz saying that once the mean high water mark was established, holders of deeded right-of-way to the parcel would be given 30 days notice to remove personal property left there. Since 30 days notice would end during the winter, the board decided January 21st to change the deadline to the Monday of Memorial Day weekend, May 4th. Regarding the dock, the board agrees it is a separate issue between the right-of-way holders and the state of New York. Sincerely, Betsy Bain, Supervisor, Town of Lake Pleasant. So, I'm looking for
I so moved, and
I'll
nice
second.
letter, Chris.
Thank you.
second.
She's the second.
Chris? Okay, is there any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Betsy, that is,
No, not for, we have to wait for public comment, Shorty, okay?
that date sounded wrong on that Monday, I believe it's like the 25th or something.
Yeah, that's wrong.
the Monday of
Memorial Day, that's right, thank you, I did notice that.
Memorial Day
Day
weekend?
is like the 25th of May, not the 4th of May?
May 4th, 24th maybe we met.
We'll let you know.
No, it wouldn't be the 4th. Oh, it must be the 24th and I missed
None of, it was
it too.
probably 24th and none of us
May
picked
25th.
I
up.
missed the two.
May
Yeah,
24th?
I
Fifth.
did notice
Right.
that, but I forgot to mention.
It's May 25th is Monday.
25th,
So
okay, thank
correction.
you.
Okay.
Sorry I butted in.
Thank you, but you did a good job anyway, being persuasive. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, so we'll get those in the mail within a day or two, and we'll also get the letter in Debbie's kiosk, and it will also be on our website. So that, we're hoping we don't miss anybody. I did contact one of the people that organized the association, and I got the listed names and addresses from them, so we're hoping we don't miss anybody. Okay, so that's finally done. Okay, next is the Verizon Towers. We had a little bit of a conflict with Young and Somers because they represent Verizon, so they can't represent our town. So they had given us another name, which the board approved, William Kissel from Lake Placid. He actually called today after I left the office for a meeting, and then I called him back, and then he had to call me back, and I left for the day. So he's basically going to read over the contract, make any changes that he feels necessary. Then we'll be meeting, the mayor and myself will be meeting and comparing what the two attorneys have said, any changes that have to be done. The contract will then be sent back to Verizon. They will do the final contract copy, send to us, and then of course we'll have our attorneys reread them again to make sure everything is in line, and we'll go from there. So that's where we stand on the Verizon Towers. The Potina Management Group, which is the energy saving plan that's replacing all the lights in the town hall and the highway garage. All final paperwork was completed last Friday, so they're supposed to be getting in touch with us, and we're supposed to be on their schedule for this week to have the work completed. Start to finish, they said. Okay, next is new business, consolidated health resolution. This is just basically to acknowledge that the consolidated health was over the 2% tax cap in 2019 due to the life support from GABAC vehicle. So I'm basically, this is again just to acknowledge and have it in our minutes. We're looking for a motion to accept this resolution by a board member. Nancy? Okay. Discussion?
I'm not sure what we're voting on, say again,
The Consolidated Health District?
the budget?
Yes, the budget was 2% over the tax cap. Dan had found out in November when he contacted OSC, and they said that if there was any issues, they would be back in touch with us. We've heard nothing at this point. I contacted Barry Baker, and Kathy and I went up and had a meeting with him last week, and this was on the advice of Barry, just to get this in our minutes as a resolution that we're aware of being over the 2% tax cap.
That's all it said.
If we do get notified, there is no fines for this,
Right,
so we just need to get it in our minutes.
no way to avoid it last year, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and it's
Well,
not to blame.
no.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Don seconded.
You and Don second.
Okay. Next is, I'm doing this for Debbie, so please bear with me a little bit here. This is a resolution for the standard work day, which is for elected and appointed officials. Be it resolved that the town of Lake Pleasant, 130389, hereby established the following standard work days for these titles, and will report the officials to the New York State and local retirement based on their record of activities. Town Clerk Deborah O'Rourke, Superintendent of Highways Randy Lavarnway, Town Justice Gordon Purdy, and Town Justice Katie Smith. I, Deborah O'Rourke, Secretary/Clerk of the Governing Board of the Town of Lake Pleasant of the State of New York, do hereby certify that I have compared the foregoing with the original resolution passed by such board at a legally conveyed meeting held on the 3rd day of February 2020. In the witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and my seal of the Town of Lake Pleasant on this 4th day of February 2020, Deborah O'Rourke. And that is it.
So moved.
So moved. Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Just for edification for folks here, this is a lot of gibberish, but the Controller's Office wisely, I think, has tried to rein in abuses in the pension system of the state. And this is establishing a standard workday for those people who, among us, who are in the program and are full-time. So those are the names you mentioned.
okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Okay, our next meeting would actually be February 17th, which is a Monday, a holiday. So we've kind of discussed it amongst the board members, some of us, and we're looking at Wednesday, the 19th of February. Is that good by everybody? Here at the library, normal time, 7 o'clock.
As I mentioned to you earlier, I will be out of town on town business at the Association of Towns. That will be my travel day back, and I will make every effort to
Okay.
be here in time for the meeting.
That'll be here.
Yes, it's here. Yeah, okay, so at this time, everybody will be here except for Neil, but I know he's gonna wanna get back just to report everything that happened in New
I
York.
sure will.
Okay, the next thing that I have, I would like to do is get a resolution passed for Kathy Aird. She is due for her 2% step starting February 1st. This was not figured into the budget for 2020. It really, we figured it out today, and total for the whole year for the budget, it would be $357.60 more. So it's not a lot of money, but she's deserving of the 2%. So I'm looking for a motion,
So,
okay? And second,
Second.
okay? Okay, any discussion?
it's step and grade, it's
It's
we're
normal,
locked into it.
yep, yep. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed?
Oh, you wanna
I'm
record?
abstaining.
You're abstaining.
Abstained,
Yeah.
as a family.
Yeah, and the only reason this was brought up is because it was not budgeted for 2020, so we had to pass a resolution for that reason. So that takes care of that. Okay, next we have some budget transfers because we got a new truck. Okay, so yep, we did some fancy work. The board, you all got a copy of the budget transfers. Okay, and is, okay, so what,
I didn't get one.
you didn't get one? You
Oh.
sure? You sure you don't remember?
Thank you.
You have this, Chris? You have
No, I don't have one.
It's okay.
it?
Did they get mixed up in the,
I've already looked at them, so.
did they get mixed up in the bills, Glenn?
I don't think so, I went through the bills, I didn't see any more copies there.
Should be plenty here. Okay, well, you know what? How about if Chris is looking over
Yeah,
to now?
we'll
and
share,
she's
we'll
done?
share,
Yeah, but we need
Well,
them
we
down
talked
here,
about
too.
this when, at budget time.
yes.
I
you
thought
did.
we knew where everything was gonna come from.
We kinda sorta did, except we thought the truck was coming in 2019.
Oh, that's right, okay,
And
thank you.
that put a little corkscrew in the whole plan,
Okay,
that
thank
it
you.
was a month late.
So,
Remember, it's supposed to come in at Christmas time, so we're gonna use
Right.
money that came in from the sale of the other two trucks.
Right,
And then we're gonna take the monies that were left over from certain line items
fund balance.
that would go into fund
why don't you
balance.
share what you got for the old truck? I know.
So
exactly.
there's
Yeah, I just
purposes
passed
the new-
it on one of them.
subtotals this all out, 59,000 for the new truck.
What's the truck?
$35,100 came in from the sale of the other two trucks, left us 24,000 and change that we needed to take out of fund balance, basically, long and short of everything.
Okay, so it's just
So
a
the-
question.
Between
which
the
fund-
monies and that we left in it, and I had Kathy run a report, and we turned into fund balance 120 and change there. So,
But
it
these-
was supposed to just come out of there before it went into fund balance, now it's in fund
Yeah,
balance.
you would
we're
have
taking
done
it out.
line item
Right,
transfers
but
for
we
your
Right.
late
Don't
December
actually
meeting.
do these transfers. It just comes from fund balance.
Correct, the,
You
oh, I don't
know,
know,
you know what I'm saying?
Well-
Because this, when she closes the year, this money goes into fund balance.
In the
It's
software
like one
automatic.
big
right,
clump.
right, one big clump.
So, you know, for highway, before
Yeah.
that becomes an issue.
Right.
Because
Well,
people,
the-
yeah, it doesn't go into the general fund, it would be in highway, or there's a couple
DA.
in B.
Yeah, fuel, that's fuel.
Right, you want
Okay.
this to be in DA, right?
Yeah,
The
DA,
co- the
the
expenditure.
truck is DA, but
Sure.
I think on your budget, that's what it was.
It says B. Tipping fees.
Yeah, because that's sanitation,
he's trying to
that's a
demarc-
whole different subject.
Where he would, that's not the same one.
We
That's a
finally got the
different-
December bill for garbage,
Mm-hmm.
and it was over budget.
Oh. Well, that's on here though, then.
Yeah, but that's not
So,
earmarked for the truck.
yeah, it's not the truck. That's a whole nother
It's a
transfer.
different line item
Oh,
transfer
I'm
he's trying
sorry,
to do.
I'm sorry, I'm looking,
Okay,
Sorry.
shoot,
Me
you're
telling
starting
her-
to confuse
me
me now.
telling her
I was
what-
getting nervous, 'cause I thought I had this
no,
done
because
this
you were
time.
saying that I'm looking, 2019, I'm sorry,
Okay.
it's been a long
So-
day.
So all set?
Yeah.
Okay, you're all set, you got the, Neil and Chris, did you get the list?
Yeah, I'd already looked at it.
Yeah, I understand now.
Okay, okay, so we need a motion?
I'll move.
You wanna do these in one? You doing
We're
the
doing
whole
them all, we're doing it all in one,
deal? Second.
okay. I hate to ask this, but any discussion?
We pre-discussed.
We pre-discussed, but on that garbage thing, yes, we are over that amount, but just so the public knows, this doesn't take into effect the amount of revenue that we brought in for demolition and everything else. So,
Oh, okay, you mean, so the money is,
yeah, there's pluses and minuses, this is only showing the minus.
yeah. I
So-
just gotta make sure she does.
I'm sure we brought in more than $1,400
Yeah,
in revenue from all the houses that got torn down this year.
yeah.
Okay, so, no, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Any opposed? Okay, next, a motion to pay bills,
I'll move.
second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
alright.
Any opposed? Okay, public comment,
Oh, I have a
Karen?
Yep, Karen McComb, resident, but I'm sorry that I thought of this too late to be put on the agenda because really it's a semi-library report, but I wanted to inform you that the library has been granted a 2020 New York State Construction Challenge Grant for $5,000, which we had put in to renovate and replace the side entrance, decking here, entranceway, whatever. Our contractor, Randy Lavarn Way, is our lead contractor
Town of
on
Lake
this.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Yes, so I will have to be touching base with him to see what his schedule is insofar as construction, buying materials. It's a $5,000 grant on non-matching. We're very fortunate to get this financial help from SALS. But I just wanted you to know that that will be we should get a check very soon. And we can start spending that money as soon as Randy is on board and putting the plans together, buying the materials, et cetera.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good, yeah,
Okay.
wonderful.
Okay, so
Anybody
if you see
else?
things going on, at least you'll know.
What's going on?
And
What's
Anything,
what,
yeah.
what pot did that come out of? Where did it come from?
They call it,
From Sal's?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Because the state of New York gives SALS
Yeah.
a certain amount of money to be used for things like construction grants, innovative ideas, programming, innovative programs in libraries, that's another whole one. This particular pool of money totaled $60,000, and we had 12 libraries who had put in applications for that. And we put in for, the maximum amount that you could put in for was $5,000, and we did get the maximum amount. So
Great.
it's just one of many grants that SALS gives to member libraries.
Thank you.
Thanks to Sal.
Anyone else?
One last thing on that 1830 road thing, Saturday we went down to Loversville to All County Concert. And on the way down, noticed that they had already started patching potholes. So, I guess
That's really cold patch.
I guess we squeaked a little bit down.
Yeah.
So it started.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough spring. I had breakfast with Tracy Eldridge this morning, and man, it's just, this spring is gonna be a lot of overtime for county, town, maybe village too. Some roads that, of course, they were all chopped up by the storm and all of Halloween, but it's beyond that. It's the nature of the kind of half winter we're having, that a lot of seepage and a lot of moisture problems. You can just feel it riding around South Shore Road on parts that look okay. It's gonna be a tough spring.
Well, that route ain't completed, that thing's been, what, 15 years they've been playing with some of them spots down there.
Yeah,
And my brother-in-law,
30.
he worked for the state, he just retired a couple of years ago. But he said one time they did a patch job down there, and they put 1 inch of blacktop on the road. Now, 1 inch of blacktop on that road, about 3
But they're a
blocks
Band-Aid.
go down through, it's going, you know, they
What a
just
waste
put-
of money.
What, yeah, right, the effort, right?
Yeah.
They just quiet the people from
Just
hollering.
That's why the more squeaky wheel, as the supervisor said, the better.
Absolutely.
That thing down there by the ridge, they play with that every year, they dig up the road, they put that French drain in years ago, and 2 years later, the water's coming up the middle of the road, just like
Yep.
it was before they started. They just keep dumping money into it, that $1 million turn, the reason why it was nicknamed the $1 million turn is when that road was first completed in 1970. That thing was so smooth, every time it rained, people would hydroplane and crash the cars down there. So the state, to rectify the situation, they cut grooves in that whole corner and said, there, now the road is good.
Yep.
First rainstorm, we were down there with the tow truck, so then they played with it some more and they wound up blacktopping that section, so they spent about $1 million. And then when they got done, they put blacktop on it, and that took the slipperiness out, so that's how it got nicknamed the $1 million turn, besides all the cars that met their fate right there on that corner, so
Thank you.
that's the state for you.
Okay, roundtable, Nancy,
Nothing.
Chris?
Co-pays?
Oh, I don't have anything definite yet. I have had one brief meeting with Patrice's people, but I'm waiting for a meeting with Patrice.
Okay.
And unfortunately, at the last meeting I was at, Larry Kelly announced his retirement, and I kind of took the.
Oh, yeah, that takes the wind out of
Yeah,
sails, doesn't
it was a big deal, but hopefully I'm gonna get it from both ends. I'd like to get whatever you have and whatever any of our fellas in back or folks in back have, to kind of just give some contemporaneous, show what the problem is.
Okay.
More problem.
Okay,
Do we need then,
Anything
Chris had
else?
pointed out, at one point with the primary care that some of our employees were having issues with co-pays, and.
Okay, because the insurance is supposed to take care of that.
Right.
well, they're
But-
not supposed to charge it, because the
Right,
town owns
right.
the building.
But that's an issue that I'm not aware of. I've
This
never
came up
seen
in
that.
October when I sat in on the meeting with
Brian
Brian
Molt
Molt
seems
and
to,
the employees.
but he mentioned this, and yet, I met with Brian Molt 50 times over the years. I've never heard this said.
No.
So I'm trying to find original contracts that indicate that.
We
It's
got Neil
certainly
working
not
on this.
illegal
Okay.
to charge. I think he's on the wrong path there, but we may have had an agreement that I'm not aware of,
Wow.
but
so we'll find out.
we'll mine it out.
Anything else, Neil?
For me, just the report that I will be going to represent this board at the Association of Towns in New York City. And you're right, I'll pedal back with all sorts of, I have always found this really edifying, and they're very generous with the literature. So I normally bring back several other manuals that can be handed around the board. At one time, Debbie used to go, Gary Orrick went for years, but it is really educational. There's 40, 50 breakout sessions. You pick the things that, of course, like you've been to before, things that are germane to us. And I've been out of the game for a while, so I'm expecting to learn some more.
Good, thank you for that. Okay,
I'm good,
Done. You good?
I'm good.
Can I have a second round table? then?
Second,
You can have a second
second
round
bite at
table,
the round
sure.
table.
I'm just wondering if, has there been anything else from Verizon about raising the tower by 15 feet
What tower, the county tower?
on top of Oak?
Oak.
I don't know about that.
The last I knew, they said they had to apply to the APA, and somebody there said that they had asked Bob to put in information about it.
Yep,
Was,
that's,
I'm sure you did
the
it.
best information I got was they're working with the APA to get it passed there. Once they do that, we can issue a building permit, no problem, as far as that goes, so.
So is this something that Oak is working on?
No, this
Oak-
is actually
Verizon.
This is
Verizon.
Verizon, is that?
Well, it's actually
No, that's
American
never been
Tower, isn't it?
discussed.
It's American Tower and Verizon, they do it together, but they have
Okay.
to do it through American Tower because that's who
Okay.
they rent the space from.
Okay.
So
I don't know
the
that.
status is American Tower is working
They're
with
working,
the
they're
APA.
working on
With the
getting
APA.
clearance from the APA.
Okay, thank you.
So, just so they're working on the clearance from the APA, which clearly, once we go over the height,
Height.
but do you get the sense that they definitely want to make that investment?
Oh, yeah,
That it's a done deal?
yes.
Because the last time I heard it from Chris, I really wasn't sure that there was buy-in, so that's good news.
They
Once you have that,
do
then I think that we can try to exercise
And-
some influence
Yep,
for public good,
and we're also
including
trying to
through
push
Dan
them-
Will.
We're also trying to push them to get a generator up there.
Yes,
They had gotten a permit and then they declined because they said it was a ski area, they couldn't get to it. And we had conversations on the phone, saying, have you even attempted to contact anybody, seeing that, you can get up there, as there's a road up there and.
but it's not just that, it's exactly the opposite. The fact that there are people there, willing landowners with equipment.
Right. So they
Over the
never
years
really-
that we've
they
been
never
involved with
really-
Oak,
they
we've
never
helped
pushed
them
it
get
out.
up there.
It was just a construction thing that they thought they were gonna do and just didn't.
Okay.
So the mayor, actually, and speculators, is trying to push that issue also at the same time.
But we might be able to ask Dan Will as a commissioner to carry that water for
To
us.
expedite it,
Well,
absolutely.
Sure,
I know
and
that.
not on the generator so much, but definitely on the height.
Yeah,
I know that Jeanette has been working on that, because I had a meeting today with her and she was discussing it. And the problem with the original one they wanted to put up there, it was oil.
diesel.
Well, she said oil,
Yeah,
but whatever.
that's the same thing.
And they said it was impossible to be hauling that back and forth, up and down, so she is now working on one, and according to all the other people at this meeting, they wanna go with LP gas, that's much easier.
Much easier.
And more sensible, so that's what she's going for now. That's what she reported today. So, I mean, she is still working on it, that's not a dead issue,
Yeah, go on.
yeah. So, anything else, Chris?
That's really.
No,
it.
that was
good,
it,
Right,
thank
John?
you.
Okay,
Yeah, I would think
Yourself.
that they'd be able to put a generator on the bottom of the mountain where they can access it and run power lines up, but maybe.
maybe.
it's-
Being that there's power lines going all the way up there for the lights, you would think.
Yeah, I would think. Just- And then you could back
Did I say that out
loud?
Whoops, fill it up.
okay, this is just an FYI, and Bob told me about this morning. There is new building and energy codes starting on May 12th. Is it posted on our website yet, Chris, or will it be
Yes.
soon? It is on already.
Yep.
He is so efficient. It's on our website already. Any questions, just kind of spread the word around so that people are aware of it and they have an idea to talk to Bob, or, go on the website and look it up, or the New York State codes, and look it up to get the information that they may need for whatever changes there could be. Another thing is this was just a thought. I was going through old files this weekend, cleaning out boxes that were in the corner, and I came across a biking trail. And we were just talking about this. And just wondering how hard it would be that we could possibly update some of our bicycle trails, maybe with just a little bit of signage. I understand that the kiosks are still on, Randy, you and I talked about this today, still on Elm Lake Road, and there's one down by the ball field. Maybe we could get a map, and you have these fat tire bikes that are getting pretty popular now. So we thought maybe if we could get the ball rolling a little bit, it probably wouldn't cost much money to get the ball rolling. And
Chuck and
Chuck,
Sherry
Dean
Smith
Irving.
that's
did
the
all
file I
that
came
work.
across. It was, and Lee Borland?
Lee Borland,
Lee
Dean
Borland
Irving.
and Chuck It
And
was
the
the
O'Briens
original
came in
applications,
too.
this was way
They
back.
put a lot of work in.
Yeah, Frank was the supervisor back then.
That's why we have 2 Parks and Rec employees, because of those bicycle trails.
Uh-huh.
Right, I was hired as Parks and Rec, and we did work on
And we
them.
kinda got away from
And
it.
then, yeah.
And the original Gators,
Yep, that
There
was,
was a
That
tie.
Four-wheeler,
that was
yeah.
bought for the
Yeah,
town
yeah.
to use to
But
make
So-
they would be good contacts for any info you might need.
Well, and
on
I know, not to talk about politics, but when I was campaigning, Chuck and I did have a lengthy conversation about that. That was something he would really love to see take off again and get the ball rolling.
did he
so.
keep you for 2.5 hours?
I
I don't think I'll ever recover.
I'd have the pleasure.
Okay, so that's all I had. I just kind of, if everybody would kind of give that some thought, and Randy's probably swearing under his breath at me because I'm making work for his
I'm
guys or
just-
something.
just
But I
so-
just think that would be
We've
a
already
great
had
idea.
a discussion about this, and,
Yeah.
yeah, the roads are still there, the dirt roads, the Elm Lake roads and so on. And I told you this,
Yep.
anything north of Oak Mountain is gone.
Yeah.
They logged it flat, and there's skid ruts that I can stand in up there. I've had this discussion with Laura O'Brien a few years back, she didn't realize that they, you know, and you go up to Brister Brook and you look into
Took
the
a lot of
woods,
work out of there.
yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
It's their land.
But as Randy and I were talking today, you can continue.
The roads, down here in Elm Lake Road, we can, you know, get a map that shows just that, so we don't send people to the never-ending end of the world up there. And also Perkins Clearing is under logging massively, and it's going to continue next summer. So I really don't think we should have a lot of bicycles riding around in there as targets for the log trucks. But the main line, yeah, you know, that's
Yeah,
town
Route
road,
three, Flag
that's
Tree.
fine,
Head down.
right? But I think we
Speculator.
should concentrate down in the tree farm and
Tree
so on and
farm.
so forth.
Get the ball rolling.
Seems when we were building snowmobile bridges and stuff, the town, or the state made us space boards.
Yep.
So bicycle tires would not go through and get stuck.
That's right.
So that all those snowmobile trails could possibly be made into bike trails too. Now, I don't know if that would be the state maintaining
Well,
them or.
no, that would probably be the town, because the first thing the state says, we have no money, we have no manpower. Second of all, then we'd have to change our UMPs, which is simple enough to do, but.
That's what conservation easement uses on that stuff was designed so it'd be multi-seasonal and multi-use,
And
yeah.
they definitely would not be offended by that, I'm sure, but it's
Fawn
just
Lake up
paperwork.
to-
Well, if we started small,
Right,
you know, maybe we could start to get something together for this year, start small, and then we can build from there. As we see how much use it gets and,
It's a good idea.
yes,
Fawn
you
Lake
like that
roads,
idea?
yeah, it's how we
Maybe
get
the old boxes.
Will Splash.
What'd you say?
I said you found some of those old boxes
I
that
took
I
an old
worked
box,
my
I
way
took a
up
box
my
and a half
waist.
home, right, Bob?
They're not gonna
This
do that.
weekend, and I brought back, and this is garbage and this we're saving, and yeah, that was in it, so. Anyway, okay, anybody else have anything else?
That kiosk isn't at the end of Elm Lake Road anymore. Did you have to say it was? That kiosk,
thought
that not
Randy-
Behind the gate, isn't it?
behind the gate, where?
You know where the gate, obviously you know where the gate is,
Well,
yeah.
right, the gate that they close for maintenance purposes when
Right.
flood season. It's
Right.
closed for maintenance, right.
Right.
Yes, yes, it's closed for maintenance because it's always an open road for CHIPS money, right? But you mean right at the end of the road where the dirt starts?
Correct.
There's not a kiosk there. There's
Not
not a bike
just
trail kiosk.
Just a
there. That got
wooden
knocked
box?
down.
Did it get taken down?
Okay,
The wooden box that you,
I could've swore that
Okay.
was there, just
me too.
it's falling.
Been taken down
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only signage is when you come down to when you go over down towards the gravel bank, down towards the beaver pond down there.
Right.
Is the one that they had put up about the wildlife and that kind of thing, and, yeah. But it's the signage.
Yeah, we
The
need
signage
signage
is
back
big.
and a map back, so.
Yeah, signage and a map down by the kiosk, there's a kiosk down, the
ball
kiosk
field.
is still down by the basketball court.
Right.
But there used to be maps.
I'm gonna actually
access.
check with the chamber just to see if they still have maps, what they have on their files.
Yeah, and advertisement, people don't know that they've been
But
advertising.
just to back up what Randy said, some of those were pretty widespread, those maps, and if, it's been some years, but if it's gonna be really heavily logged up in Perkins, we may, if we get into this, we may wanna block out a few of those
Absolutely,
things,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
we're talking Elm Lake Road,
Yeah.
and work our way
Yeah,
down
I
towards the
mean, we
ball
could take
field
the
and
original
that
map
way.
and then just
Yeah, start small this year.
dissect some of that.
Yeah, yes, that would be a great idea. Okay,
There might be some maps at the village hall, because
Oh,
You know,
shit.
the village was in on that.
We
and
did have
That
that.
one trail goes in Elm Lake Road and goes on down and up Cave Hill, it's the short run, and comes back out on Route 30.
That's gone.
And the second
Yeah.
one is, you go all the way out to Outhouse Corners on one level and out the other way, they had those two. But there should be some of that at the
I'll
village
contact
hall.
Jeanette tomorrow and ask her if they have anything at town, at Village Hall for that,
Because the village could
Donna.
have been on that
at the
too.
chamber. I have her first. Okay, thank you. Okay, anybody else have anything else?
Motion adjourned.
Okay,
Second.
okay,
Don's
all in favor?
I believe.
Neil.
Don. Neil first, Don second. All in favor? Okay,
Aye,
thank you.
you know,
Have a
Don,
good evening.
I don't know if you remember this from the Lions Club, but at the Lions Club, they still say the motion to adjourn is called a Bronius motion. After Big Day. Somebody will say Bronius motion, and if somebody will second it, they're standing up, they're already got, they're out to the bar.
Library.
Yeah. Bronius motion's been made.
Bonus
Yeah, bonus
Oh, we're on the main road, they should pay extra tax on it.
Oh.
I have to pay it, hey, I pay